No matter how busy you ever got, you always found time for me. It's me. Don't let it take my babies. Mom?
Mommy's with the maggots now.
So I decided to finally watch Evil Dead Rise. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion of it. So I will talk about spoilers, and I will put up a warning beforehand so you know to look away if you don't want to know what happens in this film. But the first 10 minutes are actually pretty good. We come across 3 people in the cabin in the woods. Of course, you know, Evil Dead is how it works. I won't really mention what happens there because it doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the story, and although it happens at the beginning, I'll let you enjoy it because it's actually pretty good. I'll just put it this way. There were 3 people in the cabin in the woods, and bad things happen. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all you need to know. Okay, so now we're on to the rest of the movie, and I'll just give you the quick gist. We are at a club bathroom, and a woman's in the bathroom taking a pregnancy test. Turns out she is pregnant. We find out her name is Beth. So Beth decides to visit her sister Ellie, who has 3 kids, Bridget, Danny, and Cassie. And we meet the family, and honestly, they were annoying as hell to me. I'm sorry, okay?
I don't care. I don't care.
Now, I will say the woman who played the mother, that was awesome. She did great at her role. That's my favorite part of the whole movie. She stole the show. First time we meet Bridget, she asks her mother if she knows where her favorite black shirt is because she's gonna go protest her Labor Day protest. I guess that's the thing. And Ellie tells her to toss it in the hamper, she'll wash it. And Bridget says, "You'll forget, you're always forgetting." And the mother says, "Well, you know where the washing machine is." And let me tell you something though, if my teenage daughter told me, "Well, you better wash it because you forget to wash my things," no, that will not go over well. So already I hate Bridget, you know, Bridget. The little girl's chopping heads off of dolls because she's quirky like that, a little girl chopping off doll heads, you know. The sister Beth, Danny, and I'm sorry. And if you don't know the whole Evil Dead franchise, and how do you not know, I'll give you the quick gist. We had the Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, which is my personal favorite, probably because it's Bruce Campbell at his best. And I always saw him, I guess, as a real-life Prince Charming, so maybe that's why I like it so much, because it's kind of set in medieval times. I know, it went way off the wall there. It went extreme camp, but it's probably my favorite to watch. And it's kind of funny, Evil Dead 2 is basically a remake of Evil Dead. They just had a bigger budget, and the story's a little different, but it's basically the same. And then, of course, you have Ash versus Evil Dead, the TV series, so there's plenty of Ash and Evil Dead to go around. Then there was basically a reboot of Evil Dead called Evil Dead, and it was released in 2013, all with the same basic premise. People alone in the cabin in the middle of the woods find an evil book, listen to some evil tapes, and the Deadites come out, people are possessed. I mean, that's the gist of it. I'm not gonna go through the whole Evil Dead Rise story. I'm gonna give you a quick timeline of what happens, and I will be giving away spoilers, but I will let you know ahead of time when it will approach so you can, skip it or watch the movie, come back and watch the rest of my video and give me your opinion. Appreciate it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of nothing happens for a very long time. People are stuck in their apartment, in the building. They are literally just in the apartment the whole time. But I will say this, the woman who plays the mom, she did a really good job at her role. She looked, she had some freaky appearances. Maybe it was the lighting, her face, and maybe she can just smile in this weird way. Maybe it's, the angle of the camera, but that was really good. I do appreciate that. She did a good job on that. There was one scene that made me cringe where somebody uses a grater. Now, whenever I see those things, maybe it's my brain, maybe there's something wrong with me, but I always think, God, can you imagine how much that would mess up your skin if someone just put that against your skin and just pulled it? Yeah, so that does happen in the movie. So this is where the warnings come in. This is spoiler alert right here. As I say, a whole lot of nothing happens. I appreciate the fact that at the ending we actually see a different type of Deadite. It's a combination of 3 of the characters. One of them is the mother, and it only lasted a few minutes, but that was different at least, so I appreciated that effort. So that's it for the positives. Just about. There's this one scene that I laughed, and I don't know if I was supposed to. The mother bites out the eye of this guy. She pukes it up and spits it into the mouth of this other guy, and they die. And I laughed. I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing, but this is so goofy in a movie that I feel like they're trying to be a little more serious about. But the first 5-10 minutes were good. The last 10 minutes were good. I feel like everything in between was filler. And I don't know if it was just the screen I'm watching, but it was so freaking dark. I could not make out what was going on half the time, and everything's so muddied up. I really just staring at the screen, I really couldn't tell what I was saying half the time. Evil Dead movies, there's not really a lot of character building and not a lot of backstory. It's mostly, friends tossed in the woods. Evil spirits come out, which is great. I love it. I'm not complaining about it. But at least in 2013, Evil Dead, we have some sort of storyline, like some sort of backstory. Because at least with that story, we do have some empathy and sympathy for this character because she had to deal with her mom dying, her brother didn't show up, she was the only one to care for her and make arrangements and take care of everything, and then she decides to quit using drugs. Not sure what it is, doesn't really matter. The point is, she's in the cabin in the woods with her friends and they're going to try to get her through withdrawals. I mean, that's a method, I suppose. There's one thing I will say that I'm glad they didn't add, at least that I saw, because in all the other Evil Dead movies, they had like rapey vines or a rape tree, a rapey tree. Like, I don't know how to explain it. These vines would wrap around women's arms and legs and go where it shouldn't go. And so I'm glad that they did not do that with this movie. There was a scene though where she was getting wrapped up in cable wires from the elevator, and I thought, oh my God, are we gonna get rapey cables now? No, we didn't, thank God. So that's one plus thing, I guess I should say. I was really hoping for something different because in the other Evil Dead movies, they're trapped in the cabin in the woods. They're pretty much isolated. So I thought, okay, cool, they're in an apartment building. Maybe we'll get like an Evil Dead version of Quarantine, which was a really good movie, by the way. But no, they're still trapped in their apartment. So the whole movie, they're in their apartment. I don't know if it was due to, a limited budget, but they still could have done something outside of the apartment, I would think. And there is a callback to the chainsaw and to the boomstick, so that does come into play eventually. And if you want blood, trust me, there will be blood at the end. Wood chipper, that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I don't think it get much worse than in an elevator full of blood, but you have blood pretty much raining on you at this point.
It's raining blood!
There was a couple scenes that maybe just want to gag. And I know they did this on purpose. She threw up this like white milky liquid out of her mouth, and yeah, no, that was nasty. That was uncalled for. That was so gross.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yes, of all the things I saw in this movie, that probably grossed me out the most. So I hope you have a better time with it than I did. And I was really hoping to like this, and I really wanted to review it, so I'm reviewing it now. I am too stubborn to lie. Like, I'm going to give you my opinion on everything no matter what, and my opinion is I personally was bored by this. You probably will disagree. You may absolutely love it, and good for you. I hope you do. If they make a sequel, it would have to really intrigue me in order for me to want to watch it. I don't think I would go to the theater to watch it if there is a second one, because I feel like this last one was so disappointing. I don't want to do it again, but hey, I'll give it another shot. It's Evil Dead. I have to. I really don't want to put out a bad review. This is just not for me, apparently. So I don't do stars and all that, but if I had to give it from 1 to 5, I would give it a 2. And I'm sorry, again, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you have a good time watching Evil Dead Rise. And thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye.